Good evening. Good evening. I guess I should say hello, hello, hello. Welcome back to Pinky Hooks. I am your hostess, Shania Lancaster. Thank you for tuning in for tonight's topic conversation. If you are new to this channel, thank you for stopping by. And before we get into tonight's discussion, let me remind you, please think about subscribing. Give this video a thumbs up. I want you to like it, but don't like it if you don't like it. So I felt the need to talk about a conversation regarding work mannerisms when it comes to work activities. Okay. There are a lot of activities that go on at work other than working, such as potlucks or maybe secret Santas, or you might have a baby shower for someone, who is about to have a baby, or their spouse, basically is at home. Whatever the case is, there are so many different events that we can all agree that at some point we have all participated in or just witnessed when it comes to activities at the workplace. With that being said, I do believe there should be a certain type of mannerism that should be exuded by all employees and the supervisors. And I do believe that it is the supervisors or the team leads' jobs, their position, they should be, or they are in a position to kind of basically, how can I say this, regulate the way the activity is executed. Prime example, right now there are multiple activities that are going on at work. Now, some of you have been with me for a while. You guys know that I'm not a fan of participating in work activities. I really don't care for them, only because I do see them go awry. But when it comes to mannerisms of participating in work activities, what I mean by that is that there are certain types of rules that should be in place without saying. Right now, we are having two different activities by one of the departments. It is a part of my department, but it's like three departments in one. And one of them is supposed to be a secret Santa. The other one is a baby shower. Now, the problem that I'm having with one of these activities, let me start first. The baby shower. The person does not know that we're going to have a baby shower for them. So there was a message that was sent, kind of like, on Microsoft Teams, that's saying, hey, we're going to have this baby shower. It wasn't an invitation like, if you want to participate. It was, we're having a baby shower. And then the next sentence that followed was, please, bring $15. And that was the first thing that kind of ticked me off. When you are asking, I mean, in this case, they didn't even ask, but I'm gonna say, when you are asking for someone to participate in something at work, and you don't ask someone to bring in a certain dollar amount. Now, what you can say, and I have seen this where they say, oh, we're doing this, basically, you can bring up to this amount of money, because in the workplace, by HR rules, they will specify that you really shouldn't go above a certain amount. And I'm not saying that $15 is a lot of money. It could be. That's what brings me to this point. You do not say bring $15. Maybe you can afford $15, but do you know everyone's situation? I mean, folks, take a look around in today's economy. Some people may be sitting here saying, what is the big deal? It's just $15, but you don't know everyone's economic situation. That $15 could be the very $15 that someone needs for gas money. It could be the very $15 that maybe a single mom, which I know there are plenty on my team, they may need for Pampers, or they may need to give that $15 for their kids' luncheon, or $15 for something other than someone else's baby shower. You should never put a dollar amount or assign a dollar amount to someone when you are asking them to participate in something that is basically you're gifting something. You should never do that, because now you have put pressure on someone that actually may not have it, or it will be a very tight squeeze. You have now put someone, I promise you, in a position where now they feel exposed. They're going to feel vulnerable, that if they don't come up with that $15, everybody else is now going to be looking at them like, okay, why couldn't you? And now that will kind of open the door to maybe people peeking in at your personal financial situation. And you don't want them in your business. That's not a good rule, to do. You should never do that. You should never do that. And when it was brought to someone's attention by yours truly, do you really think that was a good idea? I personally will be participating in it. They didn't ask, you just said like as if it was mandatory, but yeah, I'm not giving $15. Soon as I saw it was a baby shower, y'all know what I went ahead and I was like in my mind right then and there, okay, it's a baby, boom, I'm making a blanket. I put my other projects aside and I'm going to make a blanket. And that's the way it's going to go. Now, does Shy have the $15? Does Pinky Hook have the $15? Possibly. Maybe. But the fact that you assigned me a dollar amount, that's a no-no with me. That is a major no-no. Okay? I am not about to tell everybody like, yeah, that might be kind of tight. I mean, taking into consideration inflation, taking into consideration that people are struggling trying to pay rent. People are trying to come out of the supermarket nowadays without paying $100 for just 3 bags of groceries and basically bringing nothing home. And not to mention, we're going into the winter holidays. Don't do that. Now, along with the baby shower, this leads to my second event. And that same day, after that notification within less than 15 minutes, here comes the second notification. We're doing Secret Santa. Now, mind you, these emails took place a week before Halloween. I have no idea why we're doing secrets. Why was Secret Santa even started before Halloween? I had no idea. Now, some people may say, well, Cheyenne, maybe it was started because that way it gives people head, like they can get ahead of, like the holiday and start saving money for the Secret Santa. Now, I am 52. And if you guys are in my age group, do you remember how Secret Santa went? Because the Secret Santa that I remember is that, okay, everybody, you get a name. Nobody knows who got who. There was a date when we would all exchange. I'm not talking about that white elephant game. I'm talking about good old fashioned Secret Santa. And it was just, you got it and you say, okay. And then they have a list and then you pick what you would get from them. And then boom, now here's the big reveal. Who had Shy, or who had Pinky Hooks? And then somebody said, I had Pinky Hooks. And I'm like, oh, okay, got the gift. Or I think it was you got the gift and you found out who your Secret Santa was. Whatever the case was. But apparently there are variations of Secret Santa. And so they initially said, who wants to do Secret Santa? I didn't want to do it, but somebody begged me. And it's like, Shy, we need one more person to make it even, because if you don't participate, then, it's not going to be an even number. So I felt like peer pressure, and I just messaged the person, said, fine. All right, now I'm on board with this Secret Santa, right? Okay, you would think it would stop there. Now, all of a sudden, 2 days later, here's this It's called the Secret Santa Express. So someone has posed as Secret Santa and they are acting as the head of the Secret Santa party or whatever you want to call this activity, and we're doing it through Microsoft Teams. And so it's like a big group chat, and the person goes, hey, I got an idea. How about we do little Secret Santa gifts leading up to the big gift? So some of you may know what I'm talking about, and if you don't, let me just hurry up and explain to you how this version of Secret Santa works. So that means instead of us just waiting until the big reveal, now there might be 5 days leading. So let's say Secret Santa the big reveal is going to be on a Monday. Well, the week before, Monday through Friday, you are to buy little gifts or get little gifts. And it could be something cheap and cheesy and trinkety. I just made that word up, trinkety. And you're supposed to now, give like little gifts, put on their desk or whatever. And then when the big reveal is, then you get the actual item that they wanted on the list. The problem that I have with this, again, I was mad about it because you started off with one thing and now you decide to add on something else. Now, I know you guys are saying, well, Cheyenne, I've played it that way, and you're not expected to get anything expensive. Again, we're talking about mannerisms, of dealing with work activities. Again, it may not be a big deal, because somebody was telling me, like, Shine, just put like little stuff, like maybe a candy cane or like a little, I don't know, like a stupid little troll doll or whatever. But it's the fact that you have to remember that you got people like me who didn't want to participate in the very beginning. And now you're pushing the envelope by adding on something extra for them to do. That's what I'm talking about, mannerisms. Like, to me, that it's rude. It's rude because now, and it's not just me. I don't want y'all to be like, Pinky Hooks, you just don't like doing it. No, it's not just me, because I've had this conversation with a couple other people who I realized would not participate in the chat. Like, I'm looking at the chat, but I'm not participating in it, because they was like, who wants to do it? All these people started saying, yeah, I'm down for that. Because now I'm looking at it like, now I have to go out of my way. In addition to getting whatever you want on this list, now you want me to sit here and try to figure out some stupid little trinket to go, and now I got to figure out, like, how can I put this on your desk without you seeing me? It was bad enough I had to do it once, but now you want me to do this 5 days out of the week? Now I got to sit here and think, like, okay, what am I going to get now? I know y'all probably like, Shine, you just go to the dollar store. Folks, please don't miss the point. I am talking about courtesy and mannerisms. I just think I think it's greed sometimes. Like, why can't you just have the regular Secret Santa, and then you add on the stuff? And folks, I have no idea when the Secret Santa is. Like, when are we doing this? First of all, the person that I got, I did see them in the chat, and they love the idea of doing like an everyday little gift, secret gift, until we get to the big one. They're with it, but little do they know, because they don't know, that I got them. I'm not doing it. So I feel I don't feel bad, but I hope they're not going to be looking around and on their desk like, okay, where's my gift today? Because Pinky Hooks isn't doing it. Pinky Hooks is going to look at your list. And I don't even want to tell you what's on the list, because some of that stuff is not cheap. So, I'm just going to get them one gift. I don't like these kinds of activities because, again, I don't think people take into consideration that everybody does not want to participate in these kinds of things. And not to mention, I've seen these things go so wrong, especially with Secret Santa, because remember, it's supposed to be a fun little gift, and people always, I've never seen it not go down this way. There will always be somebody that will go to someone else and be like, I bought this for this person, and then look what my Secret Santa gave, and they're upset. I've seen it a million times. This is the reason why I don't participate. And this is the reason why when someone says, I don't want to participate, you should take heed. Don't pressure them. But of course, here comes the guilt trip. You're not being a team player. This doesn't look good. That's peer pressure at its finest. Is it not? You're putting a guilt trip on grown folks to take part in an activity that they said they respectfully declined. Okay, so now I'm wrapped up in this baby shower, which the person's getting a baby blanket. I'm not giving $15, and I already said I'm not doing that. Okay, now this leads me into the final part of my talk. And then when I'm doing these talks for people who are new to my channel, it's just something for you to think about, something for me to get off my chest. Final thing is that I would like to touch upon is that when you know that there are people like Pinky Hooks, that there are people like me who have no children. I'm not married. I don't have any children. My child is my fur baby, which is Ruby Sue. And Ruby Sue does not require much unless I have to take her to the vet and she might have an expensive vet bill. But for the most part, Ruby Sue is pretty cheap, like for maintenance, okay? I do not expect someone to come up to me and say these things, which people are bold enough and they have said it and they continue to say it. Number one, what's the big deal? You're single, you don't have children, so you should have extra money. Okay. How about when you come around and say, hey, my child is selling candy. How about you buy a bar? How much is a bar? $3. Okay. I'll just take one. I'm trying to be nice. I don't even want the bar. You can't buy more. You can spend more. You're single. So because I'm single, you are going to shame me because I didn't buy more, or I'm not giving more money in whatever activity you got going on. It has been said to me. I am not making this up, y'all. It has also been said to me when they have potlucks, and I'm like, I'm not into potlucks, and you guys know there's all that eating, everybody's cooking. I just don't get down with it. But when I just say, no, I don't want to really get into it, this is what will happen. I end up, and I'll say, fine. So they will leave me alone. And then they see my name, and then they'll come to my desk and say, cheese crackers? Like, come on, Shy, you have time because you're single. Again, going back to mannerisms and etiquette and courtesies. You don't do that to someone. Just because I'm single, what are you trying to say? That I have all the time in the world? You don't have anything to do when you go home. How do you know that? And even if I didn't, that is where you do not have the right to tell me you should be a number one participant. Number two, you should be giving up the most money because you don't know what I have. You don't know what is in my bank account. You don't know what my financial situation is. And just because you think I'm single, you don't know. Pinky Hook could have a whole harem of men at home. I mean, I don't, but what I'm saying is y'all know where I'm going with that. That's what I'm talking about, mannerisms. It's almost like people just get diarrhea of the mouth. They have no etiquette. They act like they've been raised in a barn, that they don't know that there are certain things that you should not be expecting, from your coworkers when it comes to activities. There are certain things that you should not be saying just because you view this person's lifestyle. Like, that doesn't give you a right to put a dollar amount on something. It doesn't give you a right to go back and change the rules and start adding extra things for people to buy. And it certainly doesn't give you the right to talk about someone's status, such as mine. Because you know what? I can flip that script and say, hey, you're married, so that means there's 2 incomes in your house. Why don't you instead of bringing $15, why don't you bring $30? Why don't you bring a whole entire extra plate of food to the potluck? Matter of fact, why don't we up the dollar amount for the Secret Santa to 50? Because there's 2 incomes in your house. I could flip the script, but I never do things of that sort. Don't do that. That is not the way to go. And if anything, it is a turnoff for people like me who already don't like doing extracurricular activities at work. I don't like doing them. I like to go to work. I like to socialize, or whatever, here and there on my terms. And when I say on my terms, that means if I feel like talking and I'm on break, then I'm going to talk. But for the most part, I like to leave work where it is. I don't want to do all that extra. Have respect, people, and do not take it upon yourself to be someone else's banker. That's none of your business. That is none of your business. And that's what's going on right now. And it's kind of funny that last year, this time, right around this time, if y'all go back a year later from my old videos, you will see me talking about extracurricular activities at work. It's the season we're in, folks. Yep. That's all. I had to get that off my chest because it has been bothering me. It has been bothering me. And before I sign off, just to take it to one side. And if y'all think like this is the end of it, now mind you, they started talking about Secret Santa. Oh, and I think they just forgot that we haven't even covered Thanksgiving. So I did overhear some conversations of now they want to, get together and have a potluck. And I'm just like, here we go. And it's going to look bad because Pinky Hooks is going to look like the bad person. But Pinky, I've been saying it for years. I'm tired of saying it. They've already started. I cannot make this up. This Thursday, there is a meeting with my immediate supervisor already starting to tell me that I am involved in planning some type of activity for Valentine's Day. This is what I'm talking about, mannerisms. I don't celebrate Valentine's Day. And if y'all saying, oh, it's because you're single. No. When I was like dating and stuff, Valentine's Day just, I don't know, it's overrated. I don't take away from anybody else that want to do it, but I don't like to get involved in it. It doesn't mean anything to me because I feel like if you're all about love, shouldn't you be doing that 365 anyway? So she's already talking about something that we have to do. Why? I already told you. I said I don't like celebrating those kinds of days. And here you are making it mandatory, which I'm trying to figure out how is it even possible to make these kinds of things mandatory? Which again still leads me to the topic of there should be some type of there should be some type of, I don't want to say limitations. What is the phrase that I'm looking for? There should be some type of, I don't know, something that says, hey, this is just it's a fun activity. It has nothing to do with work. If people don't want to participate in it, don't try to make it mandatory. And how she is getting away with it because what she's doing is she's disguising it as a team building exercise. See, if you disguise it as a team building, then if you go to HR, then they're going to be like, oh, it's team building. It's a nasty little tactic. I hate that loophole. They're playing it down, very well with this. They've already asked me to submit my ideas, and I said, whatever y'all decide. No, Pinky Hooks don't like that kind of thing. So, yeah. A lot of you may be retired and some of you may still be working, but I know you guys know what I'm talking about. We have all experienced it. And there may be some of you who are like, Pinky, I like the activities. Well, Pinky doesn't. And if you like the activities, good on you. And I hope that you weren't one of those people that made other people feel like they needed to bring in a certain dollar amount. They needed to give this much, for the Secret Santa or whatever, they had to bring an excessive amount because you knew they were single. Yeah. Leave your comments below. Tell me what you guys think. Y'all know I just cringe I cringe at these kinds of things. That behavior drives me insane. As you can see, I am still in a vest and dress clothes. I literally put down my bag. I put my dinner on the kitchen counter, set up the tripod, and I was just like, nope, gotta get it off my chest. I know I said I wasn't going to do any talks, but I felt like this one was safe. I should brace myself. Anyway, leave your comments below. Do you think any of those are proper etiquettes or mannerisms, that should be displayed when it comes to work activity? Tell me what you think. But anyway, I'm glad you guys stopped in for this small chat, and I hope you guys are having a good evening. Do not worry, so there's two things that I do need to address, and you know what? I'm just going to end this conversation, and now I need to make a quick video to say, hey, don't forget about this week's drawing coming up, and also I need to start preparing you guys for our stitch board project. But anyway, yes. So you guys, thank you for tuning in. Please, on your way out, make sure that you hit that like button. And if you're not subscribed to this channel, think about subscribing. Fun times, folks, fun times. Until next time, take care of yourselves. Be blessed. Bye-bye.